This is going. Abbie, do you realize you're getting a tan?
I do.
Okay, before we get into the video and read your letters and respond to your letters, we just want to make a little announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Can you help me out?
Sure.
Okay.
We want to launch the new podcast that Sadie and her psychic friend Abbie are doing. So it's just Sadie and somebody else. Watch out, she's very hot.
Basically, she's a psychic that was working, with Paula and your other stuff.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Yeah, she's a friend of mine.
She's a friend of yours, and she had this idea for a podcast that she was talking about with you initially.
Yes. Initially she was talking about it. We had this idea of doing a podcast, everything about the spirit world and the supernatural. So I don't know, it's just that we were reacting to our feelings, what I was feeling. At one point I was convinced that was the format, but then I said, oh my gosh, I was seeing myself so busy and not really committing to that, and not having, for some reason it didn't feel right. And I told her, it's gonna be just you. I'm gonna be behind, the scenes and follow, giving you tips and stuff like that. And
it just dropped into my lap. Like, we weren't planning on that.
Exactly.
I volunteered to be her editor, and then I realized maybe we can do a podcast together, and she was all for it, and it was so exciting.
I'm very happy. I think you two vibe so well. I really enjoyed watching your first one.
You know what's crazy though? Like, I've been wishing, there were two things I was really wishing for in these past maybe couple of months. I was wishing for a friend because I feel so lonely in Italy. And I was wishing for like some creative outlet that feels, I don't know, that feels inspiring to me, that can maybe be helpful for people. I don't know, something very vague wishes, right? And now
you have it?
Yeah, it kind of happened.
Yeah, you guys found each other. She needed somebody like you needed someone, so it's perfect.
Okay, so check out her channel. It's called My Psychic Friend Abbie. I'm gonna put it in the description, and check out the podcast. It's really cool. She channels my father in the first episode, so that was interesting. Like, I'm a bit skeptical when it comes to psychics and stuff because I don't believe every single one. Sometimes I feel like there's some charlatans, posers.
Unfortunately.
But you have a pretty good judgment of that. You've, seen her work before.
Yeah, she's absolutely amazing. And I personally facilitate a channeling of basically my parents. They have a caregiver, and she lost her son. Of course, she doesn't speak, the caregiver doesn't speak English, so I had to interpret the whole thing. So I translated for both of them, and I could, Abbie didn't know anything about this person. I didn't even know the details that Abbie was able to give to the caregiver about her son, how he died, but details, like down to some details, was crazy. Yeah. And I was like, wow. I've already, of course, seen her channeling some personalities for the YouTube channel, Channeling Eric, and she's truly amazing.
Yeah. So I already had a lot of confidence, going into this, and my dad just came through. It was kind of random. I didn't plan on that happening, but she gave some details that were right on. And then she said this thing. It was funny. So she channels things and she doesn't really know what it means. Like, she said, do you know anything about the number 3? Does it mean anything to you? And I was like, number 3? That's random. No, I don't know. What's number 3? So she was trying to figure it out with me. Is it maybe the month of March, the 3rd month? Or do you have any siblings? Maybe 3 siblings, something like that. I'm like, no. And I'm like an idiot, right? Just standing there. What is 3? Then my mom watched the episode, and she messages me, and she's like, he died on the 3rd of August. I have goosebumps. But that's what it meant. It was the biggest confirmation, and my stupid ass doesn't know which day he died. So
yeah,
that would have been cool if I noticed. If you want to check it out, I'll put the link down below. Let's show some support. It's her first time. It's her first video on her
Subscribe
channel.
to the channel. Subscribe to her channel. And there's
lots of cool stuff to come. So yeah. And she also does private sessions. So if you want like a private reading of your loved ones, you can, it's all there. It's all on her channel. So, okay, let's get into Dear Sadie&P. That was a bit of a long intro. Sorry about that.
But I mean, you know.
It's an announcement.
It's a different thing that you're doing. It's a podcast.
I'm excited. That's all I can say.
Yeah, behind the medium there is a human, so...
Can I read one and then you read one? We take turns.
Okay.
Dear Sadie&P, I'm 22 years old and I fell in love with a 54-year-old teacher. I felt comfortable confessing my feelings because she was kind of flirty with me and I felt a really strange connection. So I did it by text message on Facebook. She blocked me and I panicked.
Oops.
The next day at school, she told the psychologist to have a reunion of the three of us to discuss what happened. She said that it's the school that forced her to block me. In the text I sent, I didn't really confess love to her, but I said a big list of what I loved about her and that I would miss her a lot after she leaves teaching me. With the psychologist, she forced me to tell her if I was in love with her. I told her I didn't know, and she said she cannot not know. The discussion went on, and I confessed to her I had dreams about her, and she asked if it was intimate dreams or professional. The psychologist laughed because she wanted too many details. She was so intrigued that I really felt like I turned her on. She says
Wait, who? The psychologist or the
teacher?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
She says she's straight and has a boyfriend of 3 years, kids with another man who died from cancer, sadly. I feel like it's because she's afraid her job is threatened that I will never know the truth. The last exam I had with her, she took me apart to speak to me before our paths went in different directions. She kept asking if I still had feelings for her and what I can do about it. I kept saying, well, nothing, and she agreed. I cried in front of her before saying I would miss her. She asked me what made me think that she was into me as well, and I said, a gut feeling, but turns out my gut feelings aren't good. And she replied, it doesn't mean that, but I'm still your teacher. So she also said nothing would happen even after I graduate. Months went on and I have other teachers, but I see her in the hallways and she's so attentive to me, etc. But we can't talk because we were told we couldn't speak anymore. I once talked to her though, saying something about a work I was proud of, and she looked so nervous. Like she forgot stuff because she was so nervous. I was told by the principal we can't communicate and I can't speak about her to other people. She once went in the hallway just to say hi to me even if we couldn't talk. I keep thinking that if she didn't have some kind of attraction to me, this situation would have never became a big deal because we're both adults in an adult school for professions formations. We would have just talked it out and been okay knowing she wasn't down, you know? I graduate this month and I plan on texting her after. The thing is, I'm so scared. I don't know if I can text her or I'll get in trouble. I never thought I could love someone so much older than me, and I feel like we are some kind of soulmates. It's scary. Wow. This is interesting.
Very interesting.
So she's 22, so this is
she's 22.
University, like college, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And her teacher is 44?
No, 54.
Okay, 54.
Wow.
So it's like 32 years.
Does it matter at this point?
I don't know. I like math.
Okay. Wow, your connection is clearly there.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely.
I feel like your gut feelings are not that off because you're right that she wouldn't pay so much special attention to you if she really wasn't feeling something there. But it must be scary for her too because maybe she thinks she's straight and she doesn't understand the feelings. But if she's not her teacher anymore, then she can't get fired, right? Because then she can't.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
It wouldn't be illegal.
Exactly. So maybe have a talk.
Maybe there's a chance. Okay, so I think she's already graduated because this was sent a while ago. I would say give it a shot.
Yeah.
Outside of the school
if you're still
environment.
thinking about it, or just clearing the air. And
I think there's a possibility that something could evolve, even if it's just a friendship. Like maybe there's like a strong soulmate bond.
Yeah, I will follow up on that.
Friendship. Even a friendship like that is so valuable. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, with you, I was never thinking we would have a romantic relationship.
Right.
But like we had that spiritual connection.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to be close to each other.
Yeah.
That's where it evolved over time.
Right.
And
yeah.
it didn't have to. Like, we could have just been friends and it would have been just as good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, follow up on that one.
Yeah. That's also my advice.
So, it's your turn.
Oh, can you pass me my glasses?
Yeah. You give off hot teacher vibes when you wear your
Oh,
glasses.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you
Hot
used to
teacher.
wear them all the time?
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Oh, wait, let me
which
open
one?
it for you. Oh, you got a short one. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Sadie&P. First of all, I want to thank you for your courage to live your truth and for this channel. It is a comfort to see another age gap lesbian couple. It makes me feel less weird about the 17-year age gap in my own relationship, if that makes sense, and gives me hope that a future is possible with the love of my life, as we are also long distance. My girlfriend and I love your channel, as both of you too remind us of ourselves.
Nice.
Wow. I would like to ask for some advice or tips on your coming out process, especially to your family, not just as a lesbian, but also about the age gap aspect of the relationship. It doesn't bother me at all, but I can't imagine others who won't be unbothered. I'm at a point where I cannot live in a secret anymore. Unfortunately, I've had to move back home and my family isn't exactly gay friendly. So I'm not sure how to find a happy medium. Anyway, thank you for reading, and I pray all is well with you too, and continues to be. What's wrong with me today?
Are you having like this heat stroke because it's so hot these days?
I wouldn't,
Like, it's 40 degrees. Your brain is fried. Do you want some water?
I'm okay.
Okay. I feel like we've talked about this before, but we can recap.
Yeah, we talked about this before.
Our coming out process was relatively easy, I would say, because my family is already gay friendly, and they knew Paula, so they knew the kind of person you were, so it wasn't so bad. Like, they saw how organically the connection formed, and I was actually at the time living with my family, my mom, so because of that, I think we kind of got by pretty easily.
Yeah, for my parents it was different. It was like, I had a job for the past 17 years. It was a very stable job, and they loved the fact that I was an Italian government employee abroad, and so they were very proud of me and stuff. So for them it was the most important thing in their heads. So I called them and I said, I have to tell you something. Oh, what is it? Well, I quit my job. And they were like, so, like, they were so sad about this news. And then towards the end I said, oh, by the way, I'm lesbian. So that was
nice.
No, it didn't go like that. Just, there's this joke.
That's a good advice, though. Like, if you just come up with worse news and then you just put that in there, like, maybe they're not gonna react as bad.
It wasn't exactly like that, but
oh my god, maybe you can be like, okay, I'm in a relationship with somebody and we have an 18-year age gap, and then they have to like swallow that for a bit, and then you go, well, actually it's also a woman. I don't know, does that work? Maybe not.
I don't know,
the shock value.
But it was it was easy in a way, because they accepted me right away. My mom a little bit, she had more issues with that. My father right away, and my sister was okay, but when she found out that there was the age gap, such age gap, she was she didn't talk to me for a month or more. And but again, I mean, we told this story so many times, so it's you have to feel it out, and you have to feel how you feel inside of you, because the way you feel inside of you will be reflected in the way they are going to react, or at least it's going to reflect upon the perception, your perception of their reaction in a way. Because
what do you mean by that? Can you elaborate?
Because if you're like kind of light about it, and whatever they react, it can be objectively bad, but you feel light inside, you're gonna take it lightly. Does it make any sense?
Yeah.
And you're gonna find a way, and then once there is this mechanism, emotion, what happens is that if you take it lightly, then you're going to emanate, you're going to give out that light energy, and it's going to hit them, and they're going to lighten up. Does it make any sense?
Yeah, actually that makes a lot of sense, and it's true.
Yeah.
And I know it's true because I feel like if I had come out as being gay when I was still internally more homophobic, I would have taken the reaction so personally that maybe I would have felt gross inside. I would have felt like something is wrong with me. Maybe I can get some therapy, like, you know what I mean?
That's right.
But because I was already super digested with that fact, and I was like, yeah, I'm fucking lesbian, deal with it. So with that energy, I really didn't care what their reaction would be. So
there you go.
Once I said it, their reaction is their reaction. It means nothing about me.
Yeah.
So maybe you're right about that.
Yeah.
That's nice. Good advice, baby.
Thank you. And sometimes
you pull it out of your ass.
Exactly.
It comes out good. It's an Italian thing.
Yeah. It sounded good.
Yeah. Should we do one more? We can do this one. This one's pretty short. Okay. A very brief update. Oh, this is an update about I have a crush on my 57-year-old teacher. I told her after my class was over. She said she didn't feel the same way about me, but she was very gentle and comforted me a lot. But we still couldn't be friends. Now I'm preparing to go to Australia to start my new life. It's so funny. She stays in my country, but I'm gonna go to hers. I haven't updated for a long time because I really don't want to face this thing. I still like her very much, even though I know we can't be together. I was supposed to go to Australia in March, but I'm still in China right now, just to see her. But I think it's time to move on. That's it. Love you guys. Aww.
Yeah, I mean, once, she said she doesn't feel the same about you, the wisest thing is for sure to move on.
Yeah, and I know that can be hard.
But cherish always what you feel, because what you feel is real, even if it didn't express itself out in an actual physical relationship. What you felt about this woman is real, and it's yours, and no one can take it away from you.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And also sometimes it's something about you that maybe you need to, like, I feel like we have such strong feelings when that person also represents a part of ourselves that maybe we're not embodying yet. Does that make sense? Almost like you're falling in love with a version of yourself that you wish you could be, but you can't for certain reasons, like whether it's trauma or like the way you were raised. And because your spirit is missing that energy or like that aspect of you, you're drawn to it like a magnet.
Yeah.
That's a theory.
Yeah.
I have.
I like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay,
So,
it's nice to conclude on that
yeah,
note.
we'll
that
finish
was
there.
Immediate follow-up.
Wait, no, that wasn't that girl. That was another girl that we did a video on already.
I'm getting confused now.
It's okay. It's fine.
Okay, whatever. So we'll end up on that note.
Don't forget to check out my new podcast, link below, and we'll see you guys next time with another video pretty soon.
Yep. Bye. We love you guys.